Let's say you have a son, wildly successful, attractive, built himself up, became a millionaire, right? He has two women, one that's 21, single, no children, or one that's 29, one kid, baby daddy, but divorced. Who should your son get with?
Can she be 24 instead of 21? I just feel like when I was 21, like everything was so...
Okay, hold on. We don't care how you feel. What is a better rational decision for your son to make?
21.
Why?
Exactly what they said. She is a blank canvas, especially if he's already successful and she's not established herself. There's no baggage holding her back. Then that is a positive influence in her life. They're likely going to do a lot better.
Oh, wow. You are capable of rational thought. Fantastic.
Notice how instead of answering the direct question, she tried to change the scenario in her favor. Realistically, I don't see how much of a difference it would have made to change the age of the girl from 21 to 24, but apparently it would have made a huge difference because that was the first thing that she went for. It was a really simple question with an obvious correct answer, but what I think happened is that since most women are usually afforded the luxury of not living in reality, she thought that how she felt would make a difference and would allow her to change the question to something that would better favor the answer that she wanted to give. At least she showed that she was capable of using basic critical thinking to arrive at the obvious correct answer.
So before we found our lawyer, we met a bunch of lawyers here in Romania. We're like, look, I mean, speeding was a topic we brought up. But before we found him, we went and interviewed some bimbo in her suit who sat there and started talking about laws to us. Well, if you're banned from driving and you get caught driving, what's going to happen?
I don't go see a lawyer to talk about the law.
And she said, well, then you go to jail. And Andrew looks her in the face and said, not if I have the right lawyer, I don't. And we left.
Yes, right.
What? You're telling me that I'm gonna go to jail?
I walked in there and said, listen, I've committed multiple felonies. Am I gonna go to jail? Well, probably. Well, then see ya. Bye. I went to some other man. That was a female. I went to a man's office, said I've committed multiple felonies.
There are things we can do. We could try this, we could try that.
No problem.
I make one call.
You don't go to jail.
There's no problem.
No problem.
We send somebody else to jail.
We send him. He is the new Andrew. He shave his head and he go.
I can definitely understand why they left the first lawyer's office, and I think it could have went a lot better for her if she simply would have done what the second lawyer did, which was offer potential options as solutions to the scenario that was brought up. That is literally the only difference between the first lawyer and the second lawyer. The second lawyer didn't start talking about the law, but instead offered potential solutions. As a lawyer, your job isn't to talk to your clients about the law. It is to talk to the clients about how to fix their problems with the law if and when they arise. Would you have hired the first lawyer? Let me know in the comments.
How would you feel if one of your women had a body count like yours, or was...
I wouldn't have dated her in the first place.
What if you didn't? You wouldn't date her in the first place.
I wouldn't. She would never have come on my radar in the first place.
What did they?
No, I'm serious. Like,
no equal standards.
No, it's seriously. No, the reality isn't equal. Tell me how many 18-year-old men are getting invited onto yachts and are invited to the club's tables and shit. 0 of them, but it's full of pretty young girls. That shit ain't fair either. So the moment you start fixing that, cool, then I'll take that comment seriously. But until then...
He said it perfectly. Reality isn't equal. It's never been equal, and guess what? It will never be equal. Like he said, you won't see any 18-year-old men in any of the situations that he mentioned. The reality is that those 18-year-olds have to work and struggle, and with a little luck, they will become successful enough when they're in their 30s or 40s to be able to pay for the yachts and tables at the club so that they can invite the young women to enjoy the exact things that they weren't invited to enjoy when they were young men.
But there's something to be said about age and experience, life experience. A lot happens in your 20s, and things level out.
Getting ran through in baggage and trauma.
There's people with
men don't want that.
We don't like
Men don't want that in a partner.
Then why aren't they wifing us early? Why are they running around town? Like, you know, if they don't want us ran through in baggage and trauma, why are they like they're waiting till, like, how are we so at 20 I should be looking for 40-year-olds that are ready to settle? Like, I don't know how to
not necessarily.
I don't know how you it sounds like just a losing battle all around if you look at it as like all the responsibilities.
But
like,
it depends on if you're a wife. All wives are found, always. If you're 20 years old and you're a wife, you're going to be found, period, in the story.
To answer her question, the reason why men aren't wifing them up is because they aren't wife material. It's really that simple. These girls need to understand that more often than not, when the good guy comes along that's husband material and he wants to wife you, you are too busy living your best life, doing what young, attractive women do, which is getting ran through and having fun. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, because everyone has their phases in life, but please don't sit here and act like it's men's fault that they don't want to wife up women that aren't wifey material.